CBSE Class 10 Math video solution to the sample paper given by the CBSE board for the board examination to be conducted in 2021. This is the standard version of the paper. Looking at question number 18. Question number 18 has got 5 parts to it. Each part gives you 1 mark. You'll have to answer any 4 out of these 5 parts. So, at the end of solving this question, you should have 4 marks in the bag. What is the concept tested? Concept tested is similarity of polygons, similarity of triangles, and they've also thrown in an idea called scale factor on top of it, right? Any similar objects we talk about, we will willy-nilly be talking about a scale factor. Let's take a look at what this question defines a scale factor as, and then see how to apply it in the 5 questions that follow this. Scale factor, a scale drawing of an object is the same shape as the object but a different size, right? Pick the object, it's going to be the same shape of it, but it is going to be of a different size. For example, I have a triangle, a scaled version of it might be a smaller one, or it could very well be a bigger one. All of these are scaled factors of it. I can give you an equivalent example. It's the equivalent of zooming in and making it larger, or zooming out and making it smaller, right? So, the zoomed in, zoomed out version of an object. Shape remains the same, size is different. The scale of a drawing is a comparison of the length used on a drawing to the length it represents. Let's say this is the original object and the length in this object is 5 centimeters. In the drawing, if I've used it as 1 centimeter, the scale we are talking about here is essentially 1:5. It is represented as a ratio. 2 objects which are of the same size but of different, same shape but of different sizes are said to be similar objects, right? So, if you're talking about similarity, the ratio of 2 corresponding sides in similar figures is called the scale factor, right? We did it here, right? We took a triangle, corresponding sides, they are in the ratio of 5:1. Original is 5, in the diagram it is 1. How is the scale factor defined? Scale factor is length in the image divided by corresponding length in the object. You'll have to pick the corresponding length in the object. So, these are all kind of known to us, they've explicitly defined it, right? Let's get started with part 1. Part 1 states essentially, if one shape can become another on account of one of these modifications, on account of resizing, then the shapes are similar. What all types of resizing are there? The first one is basically you reduce the size or increase the size. This is scaling. It would make it similar. Initial object could be brought down to this. This could have been the original object which could have been brought up to this, right? This is basically scaling or resizing. Second one is by turning or rotation. The object is kept this way, you rotate it, this is going to become this way. In that case, it is again, we are talking about a case, it was initially this way, push it here, this is going to be the new one, these two will be similar. Third one is flip or reflection. Have an object, keep it in front of a mirror, this is what you are going to see, or conversely you can say, I am flipping it, keeping this as the axis, it is going to be similar. The last one, you can move it up or down, right? This is translation or slide, because here the size even has not changed. In this case, at least the size has changed. Here, the size has not changed. You're just pushing it up or bringing it down. This could have been the original. This is the image. This could have been the original. This is the image, right? Translation or sliding will lead to it being similar, right? So, keep this in mind. With this, we are going to get started with question 18.1. The model of a boat is made on a scale of 1:4. That essentially means model, if it is 1 part, the original boat is going to be 4 parts, right? That's what 1:4 making the model essentially means. They define that in the first slide itself. The model is 120 centimeters long, right? In terms of the length, we know the model is 120 centimeters. So, quickly, what is going to be the original length? Original length is going to be 4 times that. Therefore, the length of the boat is actually equal to 480 centimeters. What else is given? The full size of the boat has a width of 60 centimeters. The original boat, the width is equal to 60 centimeters. What is the question asking us to find out? What is the width of the scale model? It's in the ratio of 1:4. If it is 120, this is 480. If this is x, this is 4x. This is 60. 60 is 4 parts. So, 1 part is going to be equal to 15 centimeters. In the scale, the width of the boat is going to be 15 centimeters. Choice 3 is the answer to this question, right? Very straightforward, easy one, right? All of the given explanation up front is basically for us to understand when they say this 1:4, what does it mean? Is the original one and the diagram or the model 4, or vice versa, because you can have a bigger model than the original. Let's we take a microscopic object. Typically, they make a model where it is an enlarged model. In the case of a boat, they are trying to have a model which is probably going to be a shrunken one. 1:4 means model is to original. That's the way it is always represented. That's what the initial explanation gave us. Move on to part 2. Part 2 says, What will affect the similarity of any two polygons, right? We know all of these will lead to objects being similar. What all will lead to it being similar? Reflection or flip, right? Second one is scaling up and down, bringing it bigger or smaller. Third one is sliding up or down, moving it, translation. The last one, basically you turn it and that's going to keep it similar, right? We have to check out which of the following things, if done, will affect the similarity, which means it will make it not similar. Start with part 1, which is they are flipped horizontally. They're flipped horizontally is this. If they're flipped horizontally, it is going to be similar. So flipping horizontally will keep it similar. Therefore, that is not the answer. It's not going to affect the similarity. Similarity will be maintained. So 1 is not the answer. I'm putting an X because that's not the answer. It maintains similarity. Second part is they are dilated by a scale factor. This is what we are talking about. They're dilated by a scale factor, right? Dilation happens through a scale factor. Scale factor will keep it similar, right? Dilation by a scale factor will keep it similar. So 2 is also not the answer. It is not going to affect similarity at all. So move on to the third one. They are translated down. They are translated down. Sliding or translation will keep the object similar. So this is also not going to affect it. So 3 is also not the answer. So obviously 4 should be the answer. Let's just check it out what 4 says. They are not mirror images. Reflection means we are talking about mirror images. They are saying they are not mirror images, which means similarity is going to be affected, right? Not mirror means it is not going to be similar. So this is the answer, right? This is going to affect similarity. So choice 4 is the answer to this question. All the remaining 3 will keep it similar. This is only one which will not keep it similar. It's going to affect the similarity of the object. Therefore, 4 is the answer. Let's move on to part 3. If two similar triangles have a scale factor of A is to B, which essentially means, let's say these two triangles, we'll call them as triangle 1 and triangle 2. Their corresponding sides, these two triangles, corresponding sides will be in the ratio of A is to B, right? Corresponding sides are in the ratio of A is to B. I'll expand it to similar triangles. Any measure of corresponding length, not just corresponding sides, any measure of corresponding length, because there are other lengths in a triangle. It could be an altitude, it could be a median, it could be an angle bisector, right? All of these are also corresponding lengths in a triangle. They will all be in the same ratio of A is to B, if this is the scale factor for these two triangles. If that is the case, which statement regarding the two triangles is true? Start with the first one. The ratio of their perimeters is 3A is to B. I'll write what it should be and I'll say what is given in the question, and then let's compare it. The question says perimeter is in the ratio of 3A is to B, right? Perimeter is the sum of the sides of a triangle. If all three sides of the two triangles are in the ratio of A is to B, some of their sides will also be in the ratio of A is to B, which means the perimeter should be in the ratio of A is to B. But the question states that it is in the ratio of 3A is to B. So 1 certainly is not the answer. Move on to part 2. Their altitudes are in the ratio of A is to B. Altitude is the measure of length. Altitudes of the two triangles, if their sides are in the ratio of A is to B, if they have a scale factor of A is to B, altitudes will also be in the ratio of A is to B. That's what statement 2 says. So that is the answer. So 2 is the answer. We'll just check 3 and 4 just for sake of confirming that we have not made any mistake. Third one says the medians. Median is also a measure of length. So what it should be? It should be in the ratio of A is to B. But what does the question state? It is saying it's in the ratio of A by 2 is to B. It is not A is to B. Therefore, that is also incorrect. Lastly, what does it talk about? It talks about the angle bisectors have some ratio. Angle bisector is also a measure of length that will also be in the ratio of the same as a scale factor, which is A is to B. Whereas the question states it is A square is to B square, which again is incorrect. So what is the answer to this question? Medians, altitudes are in the ratio of A is to B is the correct one. So choice 2 is the answer to this question. Let's move on to the fourth part. The shadow of a stick 5 meters long is 2 meters. Length is 5 meters. The shadow is 2 meters. At the same time, that's a critical important information in this question. The shadow of a tree 12.5 meters high is how many meters is what the question is, right? At the same time is when we are measuring the height of the object and the shadow, the ratio will be maintained, right? We are not doing it at different times. So wherever the sun is at that point in time, if the ratio of the height of the stick to the shadow is 5 is to 2, then the ratio of the height of the tree to its shadow will also be in the same ratio. So we'll write the ratio. Let's say height of the tree divided by shadow of the tree will be the same as height of the stick divided by shadow of the stick. Height of the tree is 12.5. Shadow of the tree is what we are trying to compute. Height of the stick is equal to 5. Shadow of the stick is equal to 2. So essentially we need to find out shadow of the tree. Cross multiply and find the answer. Shadow of the tree is equal to 12.5 times 2 divided by 5. 25 by 5 is equal to 5. Choice 4 is the answer to this question, right? So this part is also done, very simple. Part 5 is, it appears to be a completely different question in a way, right? Essentially using the same scale factor and everything, but it employs a theorem that you have learnt in triangles. Quickly run through this part. If you got these first 4 parts right, you shouldn't be wasting time with the 5th part. You should actually move out of this question. If you, for example, you did not know something in the first 4 parts, which is when you should come into the 5th part, right? Because you got to read something extra for this to make sense out of it. Below you see a student's mathematical model of a farmer's roof with measurements, right? This is the roof, right, which is an attic floor it's got, right? The attic floor ABCD in the model is a square. So ABCD is a square. The beams that support the roof are edges of a rectangular prism EFGHKLMN, right? EFGHKLMN, right? It is basically this rectangular prism which is supporting this roof. E is the midpoint of AT. E is the midpoint of AT. F is the midpoint of BT. G is the midpoint of CT. And H is the midpoint of DT, right? All of that is given. All the edges of the pyramid in the model have length of 12 meters, right? All these edges, right? CT is 12 meters, BC is 12 meters, AB is 12 meters. All these edges have a length of 12 meters. Let's check out what is asked of us. What is the length of EF? This is what we need to find out. Where EF is one of the horizontal edges of the block. Let's look at this triangle ATB. We know AB is equal to 12 because that is given in the original question stem, right? We'll have to find out what is the measure of EF. E is the midpoint of AT. F is the midpoint of BT. So in this triangle, by midpoint theorem, I'll write it as MP theorem. By midpoint theorem, we know that EF will be parallel to AB, right? If you draw a line that connects the midpoint of 2 sides of a triangle, that line will be parallel to the 3rd side, right? So essentially EF is parallel to AB. If EF is parallel to AB, then by AAA, these 2 triangles will be similar. We'll just establish that if these 2 lines are parallel, angle E and angle A will be the same. Let's say both of these are theta and theta. Similarly, angle F and angle B will be the same. Let's call that as alpha and alpha. And angle T is this T. So in triangle TEF, the 3 angles are T, theta and alpha. And in triangle TAB, the 3 angles are T, theta and alpha, which means these 2 triangles by AAA are similar triangles. So by AAA, we have 2 similar triangles. TEF is similar to triangle TAB, right? Which means TE divided by TA will be equal to EF divided by AB. So you know that E is the midpoint of TA, which means that TE will be equal to EA or TE will be equal to half of TA. So I'm going to write this TA as half of TA divided by TA. This is equal to EF is what we are trying to compute. AB we know is equal to a 12. TA gets cancelled with TA, cross multiply this 12. So EF is equal to half of 12, which is equal to 6. The measure of EF is equal to 6. Choice 3 is the correct answer to this question. The 2 theorems we are using in this. The first one, we are employing midpoint theorem and establishing that EF is parallel to AB. The moment we establish EF is parallel to AB, by AAA we know that triangles TEF and TAB are similar. If triangles TEF and TAB are similar, TE by TA will be equal to EF by AB. TE is half of TA because E is the midpoint of TA. So using that, we've been able to compute the value of EF to be equal to 6 meters. Choice 3 is the correct answer to this question, right? Parts 1 to 4, you could get the answer quickly. Part 5, conceptually not difficult, but you needed to know midpoint theorem. You also needed to apply similarity and you needed to read a lot more to get here. So I would have favored 1 to 4 instead of 5 in this particular question. Best wishes for your board examination. Got about half of February still left, March, April, May, till the mid of May before your examination start. So give or take about 3.5 months in hand, 100 days. Even if you were to start preparing for your 10th standard math right now, this is the first time you're opening your book, 100 days is enough time to get 100 marks, right? Think of it as that you're going to work toward 1 mark each day. Put in a lot of effort, score a centum in the math, because math is one paper where you can certainly score centum. Best wishes. Before you leave, I want you to do two things. One, sign up at online.maxtute.com to get started with CBSE Class 10 Math online tuitions. It takes all of 5 minutes and less than 3 steps to get started. And second thing, I want you to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Spread the word about this channel to your friends and classmates.